Right, people, I wanted to be open and honest with people. This is obviously my YouTube channel now. I wanted to be honest, really, and say that a bit more about where I was getting severe urges to go and reoffend, and where I really wanted to go to Cardiff and cause as much destruction as possible, because I wanted to go to Cardiff and repeat my actions of 2017, where I threatened all the schools and nurseries and caused extreme alarm, panic and distress. I wanted to go and do that again, but do it in Cardiff, so I'd get arrested in Cardiff, and so I'd end up going to prison, hopefully getting off with a prison guard or sleeping with a prison guard. That was a deep, dark fantasy in my head. But I've had to logic it out and say I've got a partner for one. I have had temptations to want to cheat on him several times, but I've had to say, no, I'm not going to do it, and logic it out in my head. I've had to logic it all out in my brain and say, no, I'm not going to cause pain and heartache and fear and terror and upset to innocent people anymore. I've done it all my life, and it has to stop. And I've managed to do this stop and think technique, which is where you think that you want to do something. You don't act on the impulse. You stop. You think it through. Think of the impact it'll have on other people. Think of the impact it'll have on you. Think of all the scenarios, any positives, any negatives, and think it through properly, basically. And there was only just negativity to come from getting arrested in Cardiff. That would have only caused heartache, pain and negativity and fear and terror and pain and upset for a lot of people. So, yes, that is where I am a changed person from the old me. The old me would have done me acting on the impulse, and I'd have been in Eastwood Park female prison that I was striving to get to. That's where I'd have been right now. I'd have been sitting in Eastwood Park prison I'd have been sitting in Eastwood Park prison now if I'd have been my old me, and I'd have acted on impulse. But I've managed to tell myself, no, I won't do this. I've come so far. I've achieved so much. I've framed a certificate with when I completed my Women's Intensive Supervision Court order. I actually framed the certificate. Well, I didn't frame it. They actually framed it for me. The actual probation worker, my probation worker and the judge got the certificate framed. It was them that framed it. I didn't put it in a frame. But it is really nice. They actually really are nice people. And they said, well, thank you for completing your order without reoffending. Well, technically there was the little blip with indecent exposure in the telly screen, but apart from that, they said I was brilliant. They said, you did what you had to do. You even when you were on police bail for well over a year, you still behaved yourself on police bail. And they said, you've come a long way. And I've noticed it now. I've learned like a lot of coping strategies and techniques to make me into a better person. Like this stop and think technique, where I don't act on impulse and just do things instantly. That's how I'm a better person, because I don't do things on impulse. I might get upset and flustered if people, like the excessive prank caller, keep calling me non-stop and causing me severe alarm, distress and trauma and abuse. Then that's obviously something that can trigger things and make me say things I don't mean to say when I'm really flustered, upset and angry. But I've come a long way in leaps and bounds, and I think even if it's the tiniest pat on the back, I at least deserve some credit, at least for that, to have stopped myself from harming other people again, to have stopped myself from terrorising the community again and doing something really sickening and vile and disgusting. Because it's like throughout my life I have been sick, vile, disgusting, but that's not the whole point of basically, that's not the whole point of being around on social media now. Anyway, it's self-improvement. And my Facebook account that I do have is linked to self-improvement only. But in general, it's just about like being a better person, self-improvement, self-change, recognising how I've changed, And I know that I've got to at least give myself a tiny bit of credit to say that I didn't act on my impulse. I didn't cause them schools and nurseries in Cardiff severe fear and anxiety. I didn't do that. If I was a complete asshole like I used to be, I would have done it instantly. I can guarantee you that. If I was the old me, it would have happened. I would have been arrested. I would have been in Eastwood Park, blah, 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 as I've said. So I have really come a long way, and to recognise that. And it's wanting other people to recognise that change in me, where I've managed to challenge myself and stop myself doing something bad. And, you know, I know that there's always people I can talk to and talk things through with if I need to. I mean, I know now, don't ever give my personal info, like my phone number, out. Don't ever give my address out online. Don't ever give my personal info out, because people will terrorise me and cause me severe trauma and anxiety and severe fear and abuse. That's what will happen if I give my number out, and I'm never going to do it ever again. No addresses, no numbers. I've got to just be a quiet life on my own. That's about it. And, you know, I understand now. I understand where I went wrong before. I know I've changed. I've recognised the improvement and change. And I'll give myself credit for it. I just hope other people can now know. Okay, people, I'm going to go now. Bye.